I've said this a few times and I'll say it again, we have truly reached the golden age of scams. I think people today are more susceptible to a bunch of hullabaloo nonsense than we have ever been in the history of our species. Even all the way back to like the medieval ages when people would peddle snake oil, just a bunch of nonsense like, here's a health potion, right? And it's just like, you know, river water mixed with a little dirt, and they sell that, and people are like, oh, it's working, you know, that kind of stuff. I think even the people back then were more privy to scams than they are today. People buy into actually anything at all, and then they subscribe to that belief forever. They refuse to acknowledge that they have been scammed because I guess maybe their pride stands in the way of it, or maybe they truly convince themselves that it's working. Today we have a very interesting one from a Instagram influencer or TikTok influencer, I'm not exactly sure, who's trying to convince her audience that optometrists are lying to you and that glasses are the devil. They're a scam. They don't work. In fact, you can heal bad eyesight through spiritual exercises as well as general exercises and something she calls eye yoga. That's gonna fix your eyesight. She also thinks a lot of the reason that people have bad eyesight is because they believe they have bad eyesight. So if you just stop believing you have bad eyesight, all of a sudden you're gonna be fucking 20/20 vision. And of course, rub some essential oils from her MLM multi-level marketing scam on your eyes twice a day, and you'll be seeing through people's clothes, basically. Your eyesight's gonna be so good. You'll be able to see the future. It's a beautifully ridiculous scam that some people have truly bought into, which is very sad but not surprising in the current climate of the world. And there's a TikToker named Mallory's Thoughts who actually took her course in order to see this outlandish nonsense firsthand, and she reported it to the masses. And it's even more bizarre than I could have possibly envisioned. I don't care how many carrots you eat or how much eye yoga you do, your eyesight still won't be good enough to see this coming. It is so wacky. So huge thanks to Mallory's Thoughts for going to the seminar and conveying all the information to the rest of us. It's a beautiful disaster. Have I seen the Samantha Lotus MLM scam saying we don't need glasses? How optometrists scam you. The anti-glasses influencer who claims she can fix your eyesight but is slammed as harmful by experts. Well, that's just because they don't understand her methods.
What's the one thing that your optometrist doesn't want you to know about? The fact that you do not need glasses. That's right, you may have been told that you need glasses, but that's actually a lie.
I knew it.
There are mental, emotional, physical, and even spiritual reasons why you may not be seeing, and I'm here to tell you that that can be healed.
I love spiritual as one of the culprits. You haven't believed hard enough that you can see. Your faith in God has clouded your judgment. That's like actual Star Wars shit. That's why your eyes are so blurry.
If you want to learn more, read the comments. What's the one...
Does she expand on... What? I'd like to hear her methodology here. You've got me hooked. That's a huge scam. She told her Instagram followers she healed her own eyesight and is offering to teach others to heal the spiritual, emotional... Yeah. It incorporates positive psychology, CBT. How's cock and ball torture going to help? Psychoneuroendoimmunology, metaphysics, energetics, nutrition, and alternative natural medicine into her healing protocols. She broke down Lotus course in a video and garnered 2.5 million views. Mallory, a popular TikToker.
I am happy to report that I paid $11 this morning to attend so that you didn't have to. Lotus,
thanks.
We are off to a great start here with a legal disclaimer saying I'm not a pharma doctor. And if anyone wants to explain to me what pharma doctor means, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can do that for you. She's not educated in any way, shape, or form. Like, she's just actually fucking stupid. That's the best I got for you. This is holistic education and empowerment purposes. Ah. So science, then.
So suggesting that you can't see 20/20 vision because you have unbalanced spirituality, because you have some sort of blockages. So, you know, it's like
chakra blockages will do that to you.
We did a few eye health breaks, like eye stretching. She kept calling it eye yoga. It's pretty much the nicest
Can you
part
show
of
me
the
one?
whole thing. At this point, she suggested that...
Wait, what is eye yoga, I wonder? Hold on, does she have any courses on that? Now I'm very interested. As an optometrist with a degree, I can tell that she is completely bullshitting. As a man who is not an optometrist, I can tell that she is completely bullshitting. I would hope most people will hear this and know that it's bullshit. We're reaching a point where people will believe anything and everything, but that's only if you do it as a counter to something. You can't lead with your craziness. It's only if you counter something with craziness where they're like, ah, that's the truth. Because no one wants to trust anything. So if she... Here, Samantha, if you're here, let me give you some free advice on how you could have sold this on Twitter to the absolute lunatics there. If you had said, Big Pharma is trying to vax all of us and send us to these optometrists to keep glasses on us as a muzzle, here's the truth, you would have crushed it. You would have absolutely nailed it. But you didn't lean into that hard enough. Instead, you led with your lunacy. So now everyone shits on you. See, it's all about framing. You have to put an enemy, and you have to put yourself as the ally. And that's how you can sell anything.
Could, in fact, change your eye color through cellular cleansing and proper detoxification. At this point, we're about 30...
That's fantastic news. I've always wanted to have green eyes. Does she have any courses on that somewhere that still exist? Man, I need to pay $11 to go to this seminar. Mallory's hogging all of the secrets, the cheat codes. What kind of detox do I need for green eyes?
Says named best vision in the military. What the fuck does that mean? Where did that award come from?
It's a prestigious award. It's like in high school when you're like voted most likely to, you know, be a football star, most likely to be a crack addict, whatever. Like, I'm sure the military does that, right? Best vision in the military award? Take a peek. It's probably a very prestigious list here. What the fuck? There's no Wikipedia page dedicated to this? The best eyesight? Come on. The Guinness Book doesn't have it. Yeah, I can't believe it. Why wouldn't the Guinness Book be on it? They'd love that.
Again, this, like, you can't see because you just need to let go of the belief that you can't see. And she talked about how, like...
That's what I was saying.
There's just a barrier between you and the rest of the world. And, like, what are you hiding from? Then we said some affirmations together.
I've always said that's how you fix most things. You just gotta stop believing in it. If you don't believe in it, it's not real.
Says that you can use eye-strengthening oils -Immortelle. I know that Samantha is a rep for doTERRA, sells essential oils under a multi-level marketing structure. And I have been waiting for her to mention it.
This goes very deep. I see. So, she has her own MLM scam. So that's what this is all about? Immortelle, Samantha Lotus. A doTERRA. So this is the grand scheme. Now all the puzzle pieces are coming together. While our products can be used to promote a healthier lifestyle and achieve certain wellness benefits, they cannot be used or marketed as capable of preventing, treating, or curing any disease or symptoms associated with a disease. So the doTERRA essential oils, the Immortelle and the Solubel, our top oil blend.
Immortelle is a doTERRA essential oil. And so now this whole masterclass is starting to make sense. It's a Trojan horse to pitch an MLM.
It's more than that. You're also paying for the Trojan horse. Very interesting strategy, actually, from Samantha. She's quite the pioneer.
And that bottle looks awfully familiar.
Oh, it's the Immortelle, yeah.
What this one looks like.
Saved his life.
Third line from the top, essential oils around the eyes 2 times a day.
I love this essential oil craze that we've come back to. I remember when I was a kid, my mom for a little while was really into the essential oil stuff, and then eventually she's like, wow, this is just bullshit. Because at some point you realize it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't even work as a placebo for anything. But somehow we're just ignoring all of that now. It's like, yeah, it's not working, but that's because I haven't done it for 50 fucking years straight. Then it'll start working. It's just people now just get so invested in these things because they don't want to be looked at as a fool. You should just cut your losses and realize you've wasted tons and tons of money on essential oils that don't do what they claim for a lot of these scams. I don't think there's anything inherently dangerous about them or anything, but they keep getting marketed as like these panacea, like elixirs that will cure everything if you just use essential oils. SamanthaLotus.com, Natural Solutions for ADHD, the Reality Hacking Podcast. Fortunately, the holistic health model offers a different explanation and more productive solution. Extensive scientific studies have shown that refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, and chemical food additives, as well as nutritional deficiencies, preservatives, and food allergies are all causes of ADHD. Additionally, other correlated causes are stress-related. Where's your solution? Cut out sugar? Come on. Oh, that is your solution. A diet rich in vegetables, quality health fats, organic lean protein, fruit, and whole foods is the key to a healthy brain. So that's how we beat ADHD, is a better diet. Thanks, Samantha. She solved it. ADHD has been defeated. I'm eating a donut. Well, enjoy contracting ADHD, swine. Should have listened to Samantha. What does it say? Ultimate co-creator? What does that mean? Is she God's assistant? What do you mean the ultimate co-creator? Am I reading that correctly? What a title. Ultimate co-creator. A time-space portal where some of the world's greatest leaders, seekers, and game changers come to achieve complete personal and professional mastery. Now, this is something she sells. Our leading-edge clients, tribe, are those relentless in the pursuit of excellence. They are different. Being at peak expression and experience is the drumbeat of our soul. We do not settle or accept mediocrity in any aspect of the human experience. We want the best because we are the best. We embody excellence. If you are here for human and planetary flourishing and are ready to step into the fullness of your power and share your message and medicine with the world, you are where you're meant to be. That said absolutely nothing. So what is it? Is this how you sign up to the MLM? Sacred Money Archetype. What the fuck is this? What class is that in Baldur's Gate? The Sacred Money Archetype. I recognize you. You are here to make waves in the collective. You're at the leading edge of consciousness, bringing humanity forward in your own unique way. You light the way and pave the path, and yet this path isn't without pain. The constant inner urge to innovate, create, lead, expand, and evolve is all too often accompanied by the challenges of balancing health, relationships, happiness, and true lasting fulfillment and freedom. Thanks for recognizing me, Samantha. That means a lot. What an interesting rabbit hole. All because she doesn't believe in glasses and thinks optometrists are lying to you about glasses being real or necessary. The word influencer is without a doubt one of the worst terms we've ever widely adopted. It is just such a yucky term, but there's a way of making it even worse if you put the word mom in front of it. Mom influencer, upon just hearing that, induces nausea. It's like a real brown note. For those that don't know, the brown note is a legendary myth in music. It's basically a forbidden jutsu, but for sound. Fundamentally, it boils down to a frequency that, when exposed to a person, causes them to void their bowels, causes fecal incontinence. So you shit your pants when you hear the brown note and you have no control over it. The term mom influencer does something similar, but instead of just pooping your britches, you get sick. I think there's nothing wrong with mothers making internet content on, parenthood or educational content on what it's like to be a mom. That's all great. That's wholesome. But then there's a step too far into lunacy where you cross into the dark side of the force here. And that's mom influencers that use their children like props for them in their videos for their own online fame and clout. I feel like those kind of parents don't care about their children at all. They're just living vicariously through them in order to fulfill something in their life that they were unable to do on their own. So now they use their children for that online, brownie point shit and attention. And that's what we're talking about today with one mom influencer in particular. Her name's Katie. And a couple years ago, she made a viral video about how her children were nearly kidnapped outside of a Michael's. And boy, howdy, would you believe it? It turns out it was a load of baloney. She made it all up for internet clout. But this also came at the expense of two actual people here that she accused of being the ones to try and kidnap her kids, and she did report it to the police. So not only did she fabricate the story, she nearly had two innocent people fucked for life for this. So it is downright evil and degenerate. And now, it's a few years later, she has been convicted for lying about this. Her sentencing is upcoming, but it's very nice to see justice finally being served. It's a little upsetting it's taken so long, but you know what? We're here. Now let's get you caught up on the story because it's a wild one.
This morning, a popular social media influencer who falsely accused a couple of trying to kidnap her children, now convicted of lying about the whole ordeal.
Monday of this week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
This is the face of a fib. She's not being truthful. She now owes a quarter into the lie jar. And that jar's gonna be filled to the brim after this case, because she's a fucking liar. So, Katie went on Instagram, made this story accusing two random people in a Michaels store she was at of trying to kidnap her kids outside of Michaels.
And I want to share that story with you in an effort to raise awareness as to what signs to look for.
The whole idea behind all of this is so silly. Hey guys, my kids were almost kidnapped. Now let me tell you what I learned about this experience. Make sure to slap that like button for more kidnapping avoidance tutorials, and stay tuned next week where I throw my kids into a coal mine and we see what happens to their lungs so I can give you educational content on how to avoid children in coal mines. Like, what do you mean signs to look out for in the case here of the kidnapping outside of Michael's? What? Giant trench coat? If there's a couple with a huge trench coat and they're stuffing kids inside of there, big red flag. And watch out for the stork coming through and grabbing your kids with their big fucking talons. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, of course, there could be real advice you could give to somebody on, like, signs to look out for creepy people that might be up to no good. Like, hey, maybe if these people are stalking you throughout Michael's and following you to your car, you know, then maybe you should alert people around you, that kind of thing. Or just making people aware, like, there's nothing wrong with involving outsiders if you feel like you're in a situation that could be potentially dangerous. That's all fine advice. But it's not the advice she's aiming to give here. She even says that, you know, parents are too preoccupied with making sure their kids are masked up that they no longer look at them, so it just leaves an opportunity for a stranger to come in and fucking steal the stroller out from under their nose or something. Like, at least alludes to that. Keep in mind, this was a few years ago during the height of the pandemic, so masks were a huge talking point. So she makes, like, the point she's making about, like, signs to look out for are basically just, like, open your eyes. She's basically just telling people to be a parent. It's ridiculous. It's the story she tells here offers no good insight on things to be aware of unless you're an absolute fucking oblivious idiot to everything around you. Like, these are all things people would absolutely notice and be uncomfortable with the same way she is in the video. Of course, it's all made up at the end of the day, but still, like, the whole purpose behind it and the message she tried to get across makes no sense. It's so laughable. Found the full video. It's like 15 minutes long. And it is one of the most descriptive things I've ever listened to for a completely make-believe story. She talks about this story like she's in a creative writing course and giving a presentation in front of the class for a piece of fiction that she wrote. It's outrageous the amount of detail she goes into, like when she's getting to the climax of everything where the stroller was almost snatched and her children abducted. She's talking about, like, they took 2 steps forward, but then 3 steps back. They did the hokey pokey and they turned themselves around. You know, I saw the fear wash over me. I could feel it. My pupils were dilating as this absolute menace, this villain, was approaching me with ill intent and malicious aura surrounding them, like a bat out of hell. It's outrageous. It is all completely fucking fanfic make-believe.
Falsely claiming that strangers tried to kidnap her 2 young children on December 7th, 2020, outside the Petaluma, California Michaels store. The Sonoma County DA's office says the videos were posted about a week after Sorensen reported the supposed kidnapping attempt to police.
So what's wild is she didn't just make this story up for the sake of Instagram views and likes. She did report this incident to the police, who pretty quickly were able to dismiss it as a bunch of fucking hoo-ha. They immediately really realized that the events she was describing on Instagram were completely different than the events that she had described to the authorities. It was wildly different. And after talking to the couple in the clip you saw there, that photo of the couple, after talking with them, they realized that there's no evidence at all. There's no witnesses. There's nothing to corroborate anything that Katie was ever saying. Which is weird because in Katie's story on Instagram, she even talks about, like, some fucking vigilante, a hero that was there to come and help her out and save the day, really. So it's weird that there wouldn't be any witnesses to confirm any of this happened. So all of it is just so scummy and baffling that she would do something like this for the sake of internet clout. Because she didn't just go home and make this video. She did report this to the police. Why? Why go that step forward? I guess in case people would call her out on it, she'd be able to pull up a police report or something, but she should have known that they would have gotten to the bottom of this and realized that it was all a lie. And reporting a false crime is a crime. You can't do that. You can't just knowingly make some shit up and then report it to authorities and then potentially ruin the lives of the people that you are falsely accusing. That's just downright evil.
In the video, Sorensen described a number of details about the alleged incident that hadn't been disclosed to police. The accused couple, Sadie and Eddie Martinez, say they actually recognized themselves in this photo and came forward to deny Sorensen's claims.
She wanted a stronger following. She was looking for, content for her fame and her income. And at our expense.
I think they're absolutely correct. I think the main motivator behind all of this was just that internet attention. A little fucking clout goblin was born on this day, and it did work for however brief a time. Katie did receive a lot of love, got a lot of new followers on Instagram, had a huge outpouring of just well wishes from the community for such a traumatic experience and her bravery for sharing it and all of that. And she did build a big following from all of this at their expense, but her house of cards has now come crumbling down clearly, and there were already signs that this was very fishy even a few years ago, where authorities were like, this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, this isn't real, there's something goofy afoot here. So this has been a long time in the oven here cooking, and now we've reached the point where she doesn't have that following anymore. She lost some of her most avid supporters, clearly, because you can't really support someone that does something like this. So now the only thing she has is potentially 6 months in the slammer for this.
Sorensen's attorney maintains his client did not lie to police.
She misperceived and misunderstood a series of random events which were occurring around her and made a honest report to the police on December 7th.
That man looks fearful for his life right there. I don't know what's going on, if he's some kind of like prototype android that's having a hard time expressing emotion, or if Katie's threatening him with some kind of wild accusations and he's feeling the pressure. That man was robotic. But basically the defense is, Katie was too fucking stupid to understand what was happening, so she ended up just making a report that is completely not grounded in reality at all. And we're very sorry that she's so dumb. So they're just playing the she's an absolute idiot card, which I guess is becoming a very popular defense. There's a difference between being stupid and being dangerously stupid. If you're the kind of person that's so fucking dumb that you start making false reports and accusing innocent people of heinous crimes, that's still not excusable. You can't just write it off as, they're just a quirky weirdo that's dumb. You can't do that. They still need to face punishment for that. So even if the guy here is correct in that she just misperceived everything, she still needs to be punished for falsely accusing this couple of things that just didn't happen.
Her attorney adding that it was when Sorensen reviewed the evidence that she realized she was wrong.
I don't think she had any understanding of how this would spread and the impact it would cause.
But some legal experts say this verdict is about accountability.
This is a woman who lied for clicks at the expense of a couple in California who wrongly accused them of a very serious crime.
I agree. Katie does need to be held accountable for what she's done here. I personally think this wasn't just some like, oops-a-daisy, I'm so dumb moment, I misunderstood everything that happened and made up an entire story around it, silly me. I really think this was a calculated content play where she knew a video like this would garner a lot of support. Because, obviously, who doesn't want to rally behind a mother who went through a traumatic experience but came out okay and is using that as an opportunity to try and educate people in her community to be better prepared for scary things like that in the future? She probably knew that this video would go insano style on views and engagement, so she went for it. And man, what a terrible idea it was. I don't buy the whole narrative that she's just a bumbling fucking idiot who just misunderstood everything. I think that's a load of hogwash. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this story because it's a weird one. That's about it. So yeah. I've got a confession to make, and it's something I'm not proud of. I am deep into the TikTok rabbit hole of desperate attention-seeking behavior. I'm so embarrassed to say that, downright ashamed. I'm like an 80-year-old woman, and TikTok has become my soap opera. It's just this captivating train wreck I can't help but look at. These aren't even like people anymore. They're just clout zombies, an insatiable appetite for internet attention, updates, and increased follower count, bigger number, better person. And they will do anything to get a bigger number. And nothing is off limits. I swear to God, they would dig up their dead grandmother as a devious lick challenge. They'd fucking shove a Tide Pod down the throat of their dog if it meant more views on their TikTok page. It is just truly this battle where people are coming up with the most outrageous and most deplorable ways of getting internet clout as fast as possible. And that includes faking abuse.
Okay guys, this muffin I got from, I think it was from like some grocery store, is so good. Like,
I have no idea why the fuck you keep recording yourself eating. You're fat and you're overweight.
Yeah, I couldn't find the original video since she took it down after admitting it was all fake. All smoke and mirrors, nothing's real, you got fooled, and it was all a play for attention. So I found this video of a guy watching it and reacting to it. Yeah, so right away you'll notice the acting's pretty dog shit. It's Tommy Wiseau level, sounding like something out of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here. It actually just comes across like a Darman video for real. Like, stop eating the muffin, you're fat and overweight. Dude fat shames his girlfriend, lives to regret it. But you have to remember, most people on TikTok are actual children. A lot of them haven't even developed object permanence yet. Like, if I put this phone behind my back, they think it disappears. And those are the people that are using TikTok mainly, so when they see something like this, they're just going to take it at face value. But it's not just kids. Like, no one really expects someone to fake an emotional abuse video for views on TikTok. You'd have to be a real piss stain in a gas station urinal to try some shit like that. So most people assumed it was all real, and especially victims of emotional abuse came forward to support the creator here. And this spread very rapidly on TikTok. She gained like 100,000 followers as a result of it, with people just pouring tons of support into it.
I have no idea why you keep wanting to record that.
I just want to show TikTok my muffin. Like, why did you have to go there?
But when you're fat and overweight, TikTok shouldn't be a priority. It should be losing weight for me.
Alright, Mark.
Wow, what a piece of shit. Show this woman love and support, please. But just wow.
Yeah, not exactly classically trained actors from Juilliard or anything, but it was effective enough to gain 100,000 followers and convince people she was in an emotionally abusive relationship with a piece of shit boyfriend. And she got a lot of support for it, and the views were very positive for her. Also, the dialogue is, of course, really awful. They didn't have much of a script here. It sounds like dialogue out of Death Stranding. You're fat, overweight, eating muffin, bad. Lose weight because you're fat, overweight, lose weight for me, okay? It actually just sounds like a parody that you would read on Reddit underneath a post about like an incel or some shit. It's not well executed, but it was good enough that a lot of people believed it initially. And then people eventually started pointing out things that didn't make much sense and calling into question the authenticity of it, to the point where the creator eventually came forward to confirm that, yeah, she faked all of it for attention.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here. I haven't posted in a few days, and it's mainly because I've just been feeling very bad about myself, and I'm just gonna come out. I'm gonna say it. This is the video for all you guys who want it. The muffin video was scripted. Everything was scripted.
Lying again, are we? This wasn't scripted. There was no script here, and if it was written by a 4-year-old. You just improvised something that you thought would sound like emotional abuse. You just told your friend to just say like, hey, just call me overweight while I'm eating this muffin. That was it. That's all the thought that went into it. You knew that it would gain traction because no one likes to see a woman getting belittled and insulted, especially not by their boyfriend. So you knew it would be a viral video for you, but you didn't script shit. You faked it. Don't say you scripted it. You're giving yourself far more credit than you deserve.
Nothing was authentic. Nothing was real. Nothing was true. I want to thank all the accounts who are holding me accountable, because that's what we should be doing in today's society. And After the muffin video, you're probably like, well, why'd you keep going?
I love that line when someone makes an apology video after getting caught with their ass in their own mouth. Actually, I'm super glad you're all holding me accountable. This was really a social experiment to make sure that everyone was ready to hold someone like me accountable for these actions. It was all staged in order to empower all of you to hold me accountable. So thank you for that, and you all passed the test. Come on, we know you're not happy about that, so take the mask off, drop the act, just be like a Scooby-Doo villain who gets caught. I would've got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids, you fucking turbo nerds.
And that's what, if you notice I have another TikTok, that's what my marketing team told me to do. They said keep going, like continue to grow, continue to grow. As a person though, it just keeps eating me inside. They told me don't make this video because you're gonna get so much hate, and it's like, I don't care, you guys can hate on me, you can do whatever you want, I literally don't give a shit. But
where'd you get your marketing team? Off Fiverr or something? Just like one guy in his basement who says he's a marketing expert? What kind of strategy is that? No, just keep going. That way it just keeps building, and then you look even stupider when you eventually have to fold because it's become too much and people are shitting all over you on TikTok. That's not marketing. That's self-sabotage. What you have is like a double agent who must be working for like your arch nemesis on TikTok trying to like sink your career. It's a terrible idea. It's a horrible strategy. Though I do like the scapegoat. I don't know if she has a marketer that could just be like someone she's pushing blame on in order to make herself look a little bit better. Like, listen, you plebeians, I went against math and science. My marketing team, all 500 of them, all of them told me don't do it. They begged me not to make this video, but I knew in order to be the morally perfect person that I am, I needed to come forward and own up to my one and only mistake. I said, damn the numbers, damn the data. I'm doing what's right. Even though it was probably just her and her friend that hatched this idea as just a quick viral video, knowing that they'd be able to capitalize off an emotional abuse situation in order to get like some pity follows or just some supportive messages and validation. It's just really disgusting all around. And I do wonder if there is a marketing team here at all.
I just want to make it clear that if I lose 150,000 followers, that's fine, as long as everyone knows that this video was not to hurt anyone. There were no bad intentions. Because TikTok is an entertainment app, that's purely what it was for, entertainment.
What the fuck is entertaining about witnessing emotional abuse? Like, where's the fun? Was I supposed to sit there and watch the video and be like, oh, hey, oh, just like a jolly old belly laugh? Like, oh my god, she's eating a muffin and getting insulted for it. Hey, top notch, this is what I'm fucking talking about. Like, what does she watch for fun? Beheading videos? How could you possibly think people would, like, be entertained by watching abuse? There's nothing enjoyable or wacky or goofy about it. It's just sad. Like, it is just sad. And it's especially insulting to people who actually have been through abuse like that, who would have watched that video and been like, oh my god, this is so terrible, and then, like, actually relate to it, only to be told, no, I lied about it, I staged it just because I wanted more followers, it was just supposed to be entertaining. It's like, oh, it was just supposed to be entertaining, okay, so abuse is just entertainment to you. It's, you know, it's an insulting, silly fucking concept.
I did, however, do the breaking up text, which I wasn't supposed to do. My marketing team told me to continue with the whole abusive boyfriend, or like boyfriend calling me fat, but I made that video just for the young girls on this app, just to show them that if you're treated that way, it's important to leave.
That contradicts everything you just said, that you did it for entertainment. Now you're trying to spin it where you're doing something more heroic than you actually were. This wasn't some kind of PSA where it's like, hey girls, if you've been in a relationship like this, you need to leave. That was never the message. It was you being insulted, and then apparently she did like a follow-up where she broke up with her boyfriend over a text or something, which of course was also staged, but at no point was it ever supposed to be something to like inspire or get people to reflect on their own relationship. As you just said, it was for entertainment, which is fucking stupid.
I'm really a stand-up person, and I'm big on my morals, and this completely went against that. Was it just all for TikTok and views? Yeah, it was. And that's, I know, it's sad. It really is. I also want to let you know I did not profit off this. I was not in the creator fund while I was doing this. I did not profit at all.
She's being very honest here. Just fully admitting she did it all for views and that sweet, sweet attention. Attention is more valuable than oxygen, honestly. It's just that precious lifeblood to the modern human. And she may not have profited financially from it. She says she wasn't in the creator fund, so didn't make any money off it. But she earned something more important than money. Clout. Money's temporary. Clout is forever. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit since I've been so deep into this TikTok attention-seeking culture, and that's really about it. So yeah, I'm going to do something very brave right now, so be ready to stand up and give me a round of applause for this. This is going to take a lot of courage, and I just think it's something that needs to be said, and you know what? I'm not sorry. I don't like animal abusers. I said it. It's out there. I said it. I fucking hate animal abusers. I also don't like rapists. Rapists are bad too. I fucking hate that as well. Pedophiles, also terrible. Child abusers, also fucking terrible. And what do all these things have in common besides all of them being evil, deplorable pieces of shit? Well, there's a lot of YouTubers that fit into these categories. That's another thing they share. Today we're going to be focusing on animal abusing YouTubers. More specifically, the ones that murder cats, which has apparently become a pretty trendy thing. Now, when I say these YouTubers murder cats, I don't mean it in like the Reddit detective thing where you post a goofy video of a cat doing a dance or something and someone in the comments tells you why that cat's about to die and why the owner's actually killing it. I'm talking about there are YouTubers that film themselves murdering and torturing cats for their content. This first one I believe you've probably heard of a couple years ago because it was kind of big news. The channel's called Pollution Entertainment. I believe it was run by a 15-year-old Spanish-speaking YouTuber who filmed multiple videos where he was beating, kicking, pulling, throwing his cat against the wall until he eventually killed it on camera. He then adopted some kittens which he flushed down a toilet trying to drown them and beat them as well, and it became kind of a big deal, at least in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. And I knew about this, but I was under the impression that action was taken. Last I heard, authorities were involved and his channel had been deleted. It wasn't until today where I found out that not only is his channel still fucking up where he is actively uploading videos, but he's also inspired a trend among Spanish-speaking YouTubers where they go out and beat and kill cats in his honor. For some fucking reason, this deranged loser has become some hero to animal abusers online. And yes, I understand that he's still like 17 or something and he did these when he was 15. That's no fucking excuse. When I was 15, I was still learning how my penis worked, but I could rationalize that killing your pet is probably not a good thing. There's never an excuse for injuring your pet, killing your pet. It's not some, oh, he's just a kid making mistakes, he needs to learn, take it easy on him. No, that's bullshit. The number one sign of fucking psychopath serial killers is abusing animals at a young age. There's nothing good a person like this can ever contribute in their life. I don't give a fuck if they're 15. They should be locked away for a long, long time for that kind of shit. And the fact that this revolting hemorrhoid even still has a YouTube channel is sickening, and YouTube should be ashamed of themselves. It's not like they don't know about his channel. This was a huge deal in 2018. It was picked up by major news outlets. Every big Spanish-speaking YouTuber was talking on it. There's a channel called Oren Plays, I believe that's how you say it. 24.5 million subs brought this to light, calling for action against his channel from YouTube. And you know what YouTube did? Put fingers up their ass and called it a day. The channel is apparently still fucking up and flourishing. I just don't understand why they're hesitant to delete it. It's like they're endorsing the animal abuse. They're allowing this kid to continue to be this lightning rod to inspire other cat killers on YouTube. I just don't get their fucking reluctance. They've shown that they're willing to go gung-ho, nuts to butts, and take down channels at the drop of a hat regardless of their size. They just removed LeafyIsHere's channel because he made too many Pokemon videos. Meanwhile, this putrid asshole made multiple videos murdering his cats on video, and YouTube just, wipes their hands up. It's, nothing we can do about it. This is beyond us. Our hands are tied here, boys. Can't help, can't do anything. I have absolutely no sympathy, respect, or forgiveness for anyone that abuses their pets. If I was in a room and someone was threatening to beat up an animal abuser or threatening to light a single Yu-Gi-Oh common card on fire, and I could only save one, I would save the Yu-Gi-Oh card and then go throw punches at the animal abuser. I absolutely fucking despise people that abuse their pets, and I always will. Like I said, this isn't exclusive to just Pollution's channel. He has inspired an entire community to go out and murder cats or murder their own pets on camera for their YouTube content. I'm not going to show a lot of it. It's a whole rabbit hole, and I can't even find the original channel for a lot of these since it's all just getting re-uploaded to a bunch of different places. But I did find one that kind of has a lot of social media around killing their pets, And I'm not going to show you the thumbnails or anything because it is just brutally murdered, bloodied cats that they've killed. It is sickening stuff, and the titles are always like, if you don't subscribe and share my videos, I'll keep killing these animals, and pollution is my god. It is disturbing, and I highly recommend you don't go out of your way to watch them. But I think it's important that you see what's come from YouTube's inaction from not banning pollution off their website. This lack of action has had a huge consequence. This right here is the channel. It's full of disturbing videos that I cannot believe are somehow still on the platform. Here are a few of the videos of them just killing animals. The most recent one as of 4 hours ago is them hitting their dog with a baseball bat hard enough to make it squeal and scream, but not enough to kill it, but they're threatening to kill it in future videos. It is absolutely mind-boggling that this shit is somehow still on the platform. These videos are actually just cats that they have killed, and then a threat to a dog. Those are the most recent ones. The whole channel is, again, a tribute to pollution. They're doing this because they loved pollution, and the inexplicable decision from YouTube to somehow allow that channel to exist has had this kind of shit spring up as a result of it, and I couldn't be more fucking upset about it. I understand there's always going to be gross shit stains that abuse their pets, but in this case I think a lot of the blame falls on YouTube for allowing it to snowball like this and making it almost a trend. Their decision to not ban pollution showed other sick people that it's okay on YouTube to kill your cats as a way of gaining subscribers, because Pollution's channel gained a lot of subs when he did all that shit. It actually fucking did. And so a lot of other people are now emulating that, trying to do the same thing he did. And since he's still on the platform, they think it's okay. That is entirely YouTube's fault, even though all of what he did is a clear violation of their terms and service, a literal fucking crime, and they still, for some reason, didn't ban his accounts. Even after millions of reports, and I mean millions of reports on his channel, from all of the big Spanish-speaking YouTubers, everyone that heard about this story through mainstream media, and still, for some fucking reason, his channel, like a cockroach, continues to exist. It is baffling, and now there is an entire trend going around killing cats for no fucking reason other than YouTube videos. It is disgusting, and I actually can't believe that this is still going on. I had no idea his channel still existed. I just assumed that obviously YouTube would have removed it since it was such a big deal, but I guess not. I guess I really just don't understand what their priorities are. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this to light again. Hopefully there will be some fucking action taken about, you know, murdering animals on YouTube at some point. Hopefully we can, you know, go ahead and close the book on that and be like, you know what, yeah, there was a time where YouTube allowed it, but luckily they've stepped up and now will not allow people to murder animals and post videos of it on their platform. Hopefully we can reach that point, but for now, I guess fucking not. That's about it. See ya. Hello there. Today we'll be taking an educational look at the species known as DoucheTubers. The DoucheTubers phylum consists of members that possess no soul, no morals, and no creativity, and definitely no entertainment. In this phylum you'll find members such as the Rice Gum and the Paul brothers. DoucheTubers are composed of mainly 5 characteristics. 1. They are all douchebags on YouTube who got popular by being douchebags on YouTube for children. 2. Bragging. Always bragging, or flexing. Flexing, for those of you who aren't 12, is when the money is thrown in the face of the viewer. Look how much money I have that you don't. I just fucked a hooker that cost $5,000 because girls usually won't look at me without money in my hand, so I paid for it. You don't have this kind of money, I have this kind of money. So it's just bragging about your money to the children that watch you, which is kind of just shitting in the hand that feeds you. But kids like it. 3. Just being a big fucking douchebag. 4. You're still a big fucking douchebag. 5. Always threatening to fight your haters or roasting them. Optionally diss tracks if you want to be an extreme turbo super douchebag YouTuber. Douchebag YouTubers are something I've talked about in the past. They're probably the biggest content creators on the site because kids live vicariously through that kind of content. They see this man who's successful because they watch them. So they feel like they had a part in that person's success. And when they get flexed on, they feel like they've earned that. Like, when they're getting flexed on, it's like, hey, I gave you that. Yeah, use it wisely. Kids like that kind of shit because they might not have it, and it feels good that they were able to help someone else achieve it. I understand it. It makes sense. That doesn't mean I respect it, though. It's a very toxic thing. And the reason I'm making this is because I found the perfect example of a douche-tuber today. Memulous made a video on a man named Ryan Franklin who is the epitome of a douche-tuber. He does it all. And I want to take a hard look at his channel here to show you exactly what douche-tubers are and why they're a bad thing.
As for shoes, my shoes cost more than your whole outfit, so yeah, easy.
First, flexing. I'm only going to show one Ryan Franklin clip per point to illustrate it because I don't want to show more than necessary because I understand not everyone has a war-hardened stomach like I do that can hold on to vomit when they see abysmal fucking content like this. So I'm only going to show as much as necessary to get the points across so you are not tortured with more Ryan Franklin content than you need to be. In nearly everything that Ryan does, there's some degree of flexing. In a video it'll be, oh, look at this Gucci hat I just bought, or oh, hey dad, I just spent $2,000 on this Louis Vuitton trench coat. On Instagram he'll post, just bought this extremely expensive pair of shoes, these Yeezys. Oh, check out this Gucci condom on my micro penis, #blessed. He is always flexing. And flexing is one of the main things with douche-tubers. I really personally don't understand why people will just stand for that. That's just so insulting and spitting in your face. Hey, you've supported me. Now I'm going to brag to you that you don't have these things. So fuck you. I don't get that, and I think that's just a really bad thing to do. Unhealthy more than anything. It shows nothing but insecurity or a sense of holier than thou, which all douche-tubers have. They always think they're more important than all of their viewers, and they always have this belief that the world owes them everything and they're entitled to everything the world has to offer.
I'm a hypocrite, which, you know, like, cool, whatever, like, I don't actually care, but apparently I'm a hypocrite because I complain about people doing clickbait, but then proceed to do clickbait myself. Now, I sort of get your point, but at the same time, your points are irrelevant, alright? They're dumb, they're stupid. I mean, I do the odd misleading thumbnail, the odd misleading title here and there, and if you're dumb enough to, like, you know, be misled and, like, actually go on to the video, like, I've clickbaited you, I won, I've got the extra view, like, you're so dumb if you've gone onto the video thinking...
I am in firm agreement with Ryan on this point here. If you are a fan of Ryan Franklin, you are dumb, and you are stupid. As you can see, this illustrates my point I just made, where he thinks he's better than all of his viewers. He thinks they're all very dumb for even falling for his clickbait, and most douche-tubers feel the same way. Hey, my audience is so dumb I can clickbait the shit out of anything even if it makes no sense. Aliens invaded my boners at 3 a.m. while watching SpongeBob? Haunted, super scary, you won't believe number 6, 10 million views. So yeah, I agree the viewers of these kind of people, I wouldn't necessarily call them stupid, but they're naive because they're children and they're being exploited with this misleading shit, which is fucking awful in my opinion.
I don't see the attraction. Like, I'm not overly like, oh, like...
Now, one of the main things he does is he always insults any of his haters based on their appearance. He always goes right for appearance insults, and he does not discriminate. It doesn't matter your age, sex, race. You could be a fucking alien. You're still a target. Everyone is equal in his eyes. Here he is taking on a 6-year-old, and he showed no mercy. The full wrath of his clever roasting was laid down upon this 6-year-old. He was merciless.
What's wrong with your hairline? Your hairline is so ugly.
Right. Hair jokes. I mean, I've never heard those before in my life. If I had £1 for every single time someone mocks my hair for the colour or the style or anything, it doesn't matter. I'll be living in the Bahamas.
I wonder why you get so many hair jokes. I honestly can't imagine. I'm gonna go ahead and pile on it though. You look like Bert from Sesame Street. I'm sure you get that one all the time, so that's nothing new. Your hair looks like Anthony Sullivan's Smart Mop after it was used to clean up a pile of Chaz Finster's pubic hair. I'm actually really glad you chose that hairstyle though, honestly. It lets people know you're a douchebag without ever having to talk to you. Your hair looks like 3 rusted slinkies that had an orgy on top of your head that you just decided not to stop. So you're welcome, there's 4 more for your Bahamas fund.
Guys, this person right there is the ugliest man alive.
And you know what's the most awkward thing is when this calls you ugly.
Oh no, look out, we've been invaded by Ryan Franklin. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Ryan Franklin. That's Watto from the Star Wars prequels. Ryan is way too much of a pussy to confront someone directly. He's already privated his Twitter account and shit because he's a big old pussy. But you see what I did there, Ryan? I compared you to Watto, and Watto is known for not being super great looking in The Phantom Menace. So I'm calling you ugly. You get it? You know, because that's what you do. Man, you really took that 6-year-old down to size, man. What are you, like 19 or 20, and you're just calling a fucking child ugly? Are you out of your fucking mind, man? Holy shit.
Well, I opened up some fan mail. This is a letter from one of you guys. I think her name's Jessica. I haven't opened that fan mail in 2 years.
What a cool guy. He couldn't even be bothered to read who the fan mail was from. He's had it for 2 fucking years and hasn't opened it. What a piece of shit. I honestly don't think that fan mail is actually from somebody. I feel like he just wrote that himself as Jessica. I don't think this guy's getting fan mail or ever has in the past.
You do want me to get maybe like another PO box, that sort of thing, so you guys can send me in letters, maybe like candy from your country, then, you know, I'll definitely do it.
Oh yeah, that's what we want you to do, Ryan. Open up another PO box so they can send you letters that you'll never fucking read for 2 years. Great idea, you stupid son of a bitch. Amazing. Hey guys, you want me to open another PO box so you can send shit that I ignore? How's that sound? Great, huh? Again, just further proving he does not give a shit about his fans or anyone for that matter. Unbelievable.
Now, I don't intentionally flex on my fans.
How the fuck do you have an accidental flex? Oh, whoopsie. I accidentally just started taking pictures of all of my expensive possessions and saying how great they were and then accidentally uploading them all over everything that I own. Damn, what a silly mistake. I mean, there's no correcting it now. It's already out in the wild. Shit, I'm sorry, guys.
First one was a joke to Ruby Roo, because obviously during the summer I made a few videos on her. And yeah, the video's done well in terms of, you know, views. Got me money, okay? So I was doing a joke, like that tweet is a joke. Like the whole Yeezy thing. It's a joke. You don't realise, actually, like, I feel that I'm quite misunderstood. I said this in yesterday's video.
This is always the fleshlight these douchebags start to use once it starts backfiring with all of their douchebaggery and bragging. Oh, it's just a joke. I'm just playing a persona. Ha ha ha. I'm not really a huge insufferable asshole. It's just a joke. Lighten up, guys. But it's very clear it's not a joke, because none of it's done in a comedic way or anything entertaining at all. It's just being an asshole. Jokes on you guys, I'm not really an asshole, ha 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 ha. If you have to keep reiterating that it's a joke time and time again, maybe it's not a good joke, or maybe you're the joke. It's just fucking silly, because it's very obvious to anyone that you're not kidding. You're just being a douchebag. Now, this was a National Geographic look at the DoucheTuber, and I hope you've all learned something about this abhorrent species. I really have no respect for these kind of people at all, and hopefully you're walking away with this knowledge and also forming an opinion that, hey, maybe these aren't great people that I should be letting either my kids or my brothers and sisters that are young watch, because it sets a bad example for them. It really does. 100%. That's it. See ya. If you've been on Twitter within the last 12 hours, you've already heard the massive news. LeafyIsHere is banned from YouTube. If Jesus Christ resurrected today, that would only be a side story, second place behind LeafyIsHere's termination. The response to the news has been split. There's a lot of people celebrating it as if their favorite football team just won the Super Bowl, and then there's people absolutely in fucking ruins, burning down their local high schools, refusing to eat, hunger strikes. I'm sure someone's gonna set themselves on fire like that monk a long time ago in protest. Shit has been absolutely wild. So let's peel apart these ass cheeks here and really dive in. So, in a nutshell, he was banned for bullying and targeted harassment. I think that's what they got him with. I think that's what they slapped him around with. I'm not entirely sure, but from everything I've read, that's what the charges against him were in the court of YouTube. So first of all, I don't think any content creators should be celebrating Leafy's channel termination. Even if you absolutely hate Leafy, hate everything about him, have wet dreams where he's being sent away to jail for life in an isolation chamber, you still shouldn't be happy that he got banned this way, because to my understanding, he had 0 strikes on his account before it was completely just fucking eradicated from existence. And if it can happen to a 5 million subscriber channel, it can happen to any channel. It happened overnight, like the fucking Tooth Fairy came in out of nowhere and just snatched his soul, his YouTube soul away, and had no priors. That should be scary to anyone that makes content on the internet, I would say. But I do disagree that this sets a precedent. I would argue this precedent got set a year ago, with Gokanaru's video on H3H3 getting taken down for the same reason Leafy just lost his channel: targeted harassment, bullying, threats. And then it happened again with Ian's Content Cop on Leafy: targeted harassment, bullying, threats, taken down. Neither of those got reinstated. Those stayed down. I would say that's when the precedent was set. YouTube showed that it's kind of Weenie Hut Jr. when it comes to anything it views as a potential targeted harassment campaign or threat against a creator. Now, to be fair, I understand this is a bit of a special case with Leafy in particular, because he made 12 fucking videos milking Pokimane. I don't mean like actually like grabbing on her nipples and like milking her, lactating. I mean he milked this fucking controversy that he started on Pokimane. He had 12 videos insulting Pokimane in the title, laughing at her in the title, using degrading thumbnails to insult her. And I understand the content of all 12 of those videos wasn't solely focused on Pokimane. They were mainly like financial rants and shit like that. But still having 12 videos all insulting Pokimane in the title and thumbnail, that's viewed as harassment by YouTube. And to be fair, that's literally textbook harassment. Of his last 15 videos, 12 of them were on Pokimane. Only 3 videos that I can remember, I can't double check, but I think I remember it was only 3 videos in 2 months weren't talking shit on Pokimane in the title and thumbnail. So I think it's pretty obvious why YouTube viewed that as a harassment campaign. But what's surprising to me, and probably everyone else, is the fact that they didn't issue just one strike for this whole ordeal, the whole Pokimane thing. They issued individual strikes for each offense. And even if they only used half of his Pokimane videos, that's still 6 strikes all at once. If they used a third, that's 4 strikes. If they used a fourth, that's 3 strikes. All of them terminate his account. And that's pretty fucking wild. He went so far above and beyond the norm when it comes to milking internet drama that he made it impossible for himself to survive this new harassment policy they implemented. Now, do I think he's going to get his YouTube account back? I really have no idea. It's impossible to know for sure, but one thing I can say for sure is a lot of these commentary channels and just general audience are pretty fucking stupid. There's a lot of people accusing Pokimane and Ethan of getting Leafy's channel taken down. Ethan because he had a recent animation in one of Leafy's videos where Ethan's wife kills herself by jumping off a cliff or something, which again falls into that category of the threats thing that YouTube doesn't like that they got Gokanaru for. But I can tell you right now, Pokimane and Ethan had absolutely no fucking hand in that whatsoever. Now, I'm not their lawyer or anything, I'm not going to be like their Saul Goodman or anything, but I can say with a high level of certainty that there is not a single YouTube creator, not T-Series, not PewDiePie, that can go to YouTube and tell them how to enforce rules on their platform. They don't take any of that seriously. There is nobody that can go to YouTube and say, I want action taken against this and that, and YouTube would listen. That just doesn't happen. And I can say that with confidence because with our company, Human Media Group, we actually have a direct line to YouTube now. And, you know, like my boy George, I've been curious, I've been inquisitive, I've been asking, like, some actual shit that I've wanted to know for a long time to unravel the mystery of YouTube. And one thing I've learned is they don't give a fuck what a creator says to them. They want to stay as hands off of things on their platform as possible. So, if Ethan or Pokimane really did have a problem with all of Leafy's content, they would have to go through proper legal channels through a lawyer to have any action taken on YouTube's part, where it'd have to be an official document, lawyer, from court, everything that tells them it has to be taken down or the channel has to go online. YouTube would not do that on their own because of a legal nightmare. And I totally believe that because YouTube's a pretty soulless corporation. They're not going to really give a fuck who's coming at them asking them to take down or, you know, be the hall monitor for YouTube drama. They don't give a fuck about that. They want to stay everything as hands-off as possible and as automated as possible. So I'm pretty confident when I say no YouTube content creator has ever had a role to play in a channel being taken down like LeafyIsHere unless it was through proper legal means and like a lawsuit, which I don't think happened overnight. You might as well just start accusing the Boogeyman of being the one that took down Leafy or Slenderman or something. It'd make about as much sense as saying Ethan or Pokimane had that power. Now, just to kind of circle back on why I think content creators are dumb to celebrate Leafy's termination, well, it's because, yeah, while Leafy's was a pretty extreme case where there was so many videos targeting one person, the fact that YouTube took action this quickly without warning is a scary thing to see going forward because maybe the definition of harassment starts to get a little more vague and a little more blurred and you don't really know what starts to classify as harassment or targeted threats or bullying or whatever, and that's when it becomes very muddy. There needs to be very clear rules and clear action taken with transparency so that way you can avoid something like Leafy's ban being possibly the gateway to banning a whole lot of other shit that's a lot more innocent and not as on the nose as, you know, fucking more than 10 videos on something, you know what I mean? Now, do I think his channel needed to be taken down? No, I don't think so. I never support censorship in any of its forms. I think you guys know that about me. I think that's just a super fucking slippery slope. Once you start censoring things, it's stupid to think that it's only going to be used against things you don't like. Everything can be subject to the same treatment, even the innocent shit. It's just a very bad thing going forward. So I don't think his channel needed to be taken down. I'm not a big fan of Leafy's content either. I'm not looking for fucking financial advice or to see the same drama stretched out over 2 months. So I'm not a huge fan of his content, but I don't like to see a channel banned like that. Now, I do understand YouTube has a rule on harassment, and you can argue he broke that rule, so that should have been a strike. But I don't think it should have been a strike for each instance of the potential rule break. It should have been one strike for that entire thing, and maybe give him a warning like, look, this is harassment, don't do it again going forward, you know? Hit the brakes a little bit. But that didn't happen. You see, you could extend this harassment here to pretty much every late night TV host. A reoccurring theme in late night hosts is insulting Donald Trump. Couldn't you make that same argument that they target Donald Trump just the same way Leafy did for Pokimane? And they've done a lot more than just 12 segments shitting on him. That could realistically apply to the harassment rule, right? But you wouldn't want to see the late night shit taken down for that reason. You might want to see it taken down because the hosts are really fucking boring these days and the content of the late night shows is terrible, but you wouldn't want to see it taken down because they make a bunch of jokes about somebody. That's just a dangerous thing. That's a very dangerous thing. I just don't understand how content creators of all people can't see why that's dangerous for them as a fucking content creator, because it's so vague you don't know how it's going to be enforced going forward. You don't know where it's going to lead, and I just think it's very silly to celebrate something like that, even if you fucking hate Leafy. So yeah, really, that's just about it. Just wanted to answer all these questions because I've already been getting a ton of them, and I figured might as well just talk about it as soon as possible before I just get flooded by more questions to talk about it. So that's about it. So yeah. Boy, oh boy, do I have some good news for you today. It's time for a little holly jolly celebration because Santa Claus came early with the gifts. This loser has finally been arrested. Now, I'm sure none of you recognize this guy. This is probably not a face any of you have seen unless you're a woman in New York, and in that case, this is probably a face that you swiped left on Tinder for. But this is the face of the man known as Squeezebinz, the infamous street racer who's blown up on Instagram and YouTube over the last few months. This isn't like a really stunning revelation, he just looks like a normal asshole. It's not like some kind of big twist like it's Bruce Wayne behind the Batman mask or anything. But I actually recently talked about Squeeze because he went on Neon's stream and did his street racing stunt maneuvers and ended up getting in a hit and run live on Kick. So of course I was making fun of him and tossing tomatoes, shouting boo. I think it is so incredibly lame to do the kind of shit that Squeezebinz was, where he'd just go out on public roads and put everyone's lives in danger around him, just driving fast and recklessly for his content. And this is a criminal who was addicted to attention, which has to be the worst combination for a human being ever. If you are a criminal, the last thing that you would want is a lot of eyes on you. But this guy, Jiminy Christmas, he was absorbing it like a sponge in a sink. This guy was more addicted to attention than a heroin addict is to the needle. This guy couldn't get enough of it, so he took every opportunity imaginable to promote himself. So this was always inevitable. He was either going to get arrested or get himself or someone else killed. Luckily, he was arrested before the second thing happened. Now, before really diving into the weeds of the arrest here and everything around it, I want to show you a little bit more of the lore to Squeeze, so you can get a big taste of the cringe that is Squeezebinz.
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I did have some professional.
This guy must have found a moron potion at some point in his life and he has not been able to break the curse. The effects still linger. He did an interview with Tommy G, a very popular video, over 8 million views here, where he's revealing some like pretty sensitive information really, all while acknowledging that he's one of the most wanted people in the area by the authorities. How stupid can you be? He's going on a press tour here to promote himself while actively engaging in illegal activity and putting himself in as many places as possible, giving authorities all the evidence they could ever require. He also has the gall to call himself a professional. He is a talented driver, no doubt, but the only thing he's a professional at is not dying. That's it. He's going out there and gambling with everyone's lives and his own, and nothing beyond that. He's not a professional at anything, he's just currently surviving, is all.
That's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they tried keeping up with me and they've crashed.
How fast do you go?
I mean, there's been a video on live where I've gone one-handed 210 miles an hour.
Filming with one hand, driving with the other, 210 miles an hour.
Yes.
That's insane. Did that scare you?
Not really, just to build up a tolerance of just speed.
Do you feel like the police watch your Instagram?
100%, they do.
Let's pop in the...
100% they do, which is why I'm doing all of these interviews to help them in their pursuit. It reminds me of this classic story where the police put out a post on Facebook asking for information about a woman who was an accessory to a murder, and the woman they were looking for actually commented on the post asking about the reward money that was being offered, and so they were able to find her because of that. Squeeze and that lady are two sides of the same coin. Just pure degenerate dummy. Anyway, though, he's finally been arrested after an incident that happened back in April where Squeeze allegedly made an illegal turn and proceeded to elude the police at high speeds. Then officers found videos of him committing various traffic violations throughout the tri-state area. Apparently the NYPD did a little fusion dance and a fist bump with another department, and they worked together and found Squeeze because he was wanted on other charges including burglary, theft, conspiracy, and more. I was reading a couple of other reports where he allegedly punched a 20-year-old man in a deli. So I'm not exactly sure what all went down there, but ultimately it ended with him getting arrested and the NYPD commissioner taking a victory lap here and dunking on him on Twitter by saying Squeeze Bins is in custody thanks to New York's finest. And then he posted a picture of his Instagram with the word apprehended slapped across it there, as if it's some kind of like busted thing in Grand Theft Auto. So Antonio going from Squeeze Bins to Squeeze Mins here, being shoulder to shoulder squeezed into a cell with other dudes, hopefully. But there's no telling if he's actually going to face real prison time. It seems he's been released because after all of this, he did make an Instagram post about how he can't go live on there. So then he made a Twitch account, which I can't find. I do see a Squeeze Bins account there, but there's nothing on it, and I think that's just an impersonator trying to capitalize off of this. His original Instagram account appears to be banned, and the only one I can find is another one that appears to be an impersonator, but maybe it really is him. I have no fucking clue. I also can't help but giggle that he decided to make a Twitch account instead of a Kick account. Like, not even this blatant criminal who has already broadcast crimes on Kick wants to make an account over there and stream on purpose. He still decided to go to Twitch first and foremost. That's kind of crazy to me because Kick is the home of broadcasting illegal activity. They don't do shit about it there. They give you like a subtle thumbs up because it's driving more traffic to their site. That should be home turf for Antonio here. Squeeze Bins would be hoisted on their shoulders like a golden goose. And yet he still said, ew, I'll just go to Twitch instead. That boggles my mind a little bit. I did laugh when I read that he made a Twitch account. I wish they'd make an example out of him here. He's not like the only one doing this kind of content, the lone alpha wolf or anything here. This is a pretty popular niche of content online where people will just put on a helmet or wear some kind of mask and then just commit crimes. And like, taunt authorities driving around recklessly, endangering a bunch of innocent people's lives on the road for content and views on Instagram and YouTube and shit. He is far from the only one doing this. So I think if they would actually give a fuck here and pursue real serious charges and actual repercussions for his actions, it could help to dissuade others from pursuing this. At least I would hope. I would really like them to not play softball here and actually do something about this. He has been caught. Hand in the cookie jar here. He has all of this evidence that he himself has compiled about his crimes and how he's not remorseful and will always continue to do it, most likely. Why the fuck would you just give him a slap on the wrist? It's also more than the dangerous driving. He apparently beats people in delis, at least according to some of the reports here. Like, this is not someone that they should just be playing like patty cake with here and saying, hey, don't do it again. All right, now get out of here. Come on, scram. Like, this is something that they should be taking far, far more seriously. I really hope that his release is a temporary thing as they build up a meteor case against him, so that way he'll actually get thrown in the slammer. There's just no excuse for it at all. Just going onto public roads and compromising everyone's safety for your content, I just think it truly super sucks. And I think the fans of this kind of content are extraordinarily annoying. So there are still like squeeze bins enthusiasts that are losing sleep over this, thinking that he's done nothing wrong. Nobody got hurt, even though in his interview with Tommy G, he says that people have tried to emulate him and they have crashed. So people have literally gotten hurt. He also did get involved in a hit and run on stream, but whatever, I suppose. Just go ahead and ignore reality here and continue to live in fucking delusional Narnia land. But, you know, hey, they're squeeze bins guys. Of course they wear diapers and eat glue. Is what it is, I guess. But I'm just super happy that he's finally been arrested, and I can only hope that they do throw the book at him. So yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. This season on the YouTube drama soap opera has been a pretty interesting one, and as this season winds to a close, we get one hell of a surprise here. It turns out YouTube tough guys aren't that tough. What a shocker. Now when I say YouTube tough guys, I'm referring to the braggadocio YouTubers like Rice Gum and FaZe Banks. FaZe Banks also happens to be the protagonist in today's story. And the ones that really just flex a whole bunch of money on their 12-year-old fans who live vicariously through their success. The fan base is sad, their personas are sad. Today we get to see what happens when an unstoppable douchebag meets an actual confrontation. Now I want to make it clear before I start this, I don't care about the story. It's a fucked up story and I'm not taking sides, although I am more inclined to believe FaZe Banks and Alyssa's side. Even though they are known liars, Barley's statement was just really bad. And in my experience, the bouncers do start most of this shit at these types of establishments. But once again, I don't care about the story, I just care about when FaZe Banks gets involved in a fight. The security footage has just been released. The footage is chopped into pieces to fit this horrible narrative that I don't believe any rational person's going to believe at all, but it does show FaZe Banks in an actual confrontation, no smoke and mirrors, no CGI. This is a real YouTube tough guy in a real altercation.
A couple are internet stars. We monitor stuff like this here at the television station. They get millions of hits over outrageous videos that they post. Their names are Alyssa Violet and Ricky Banks.
And I can't believe it happened to us.
What happened to Ricky Banks began when he was in a restricted basement area of the Barley House and was asked to leave. He made fists.
I love how the reporter calls them outrageous videos. He looks down on the videos, as well he should. They're really bad videos. But if only you could say shitty videos on the air, huh, reporter? This is the first sign that you're an insufferable asshole when you throw up a set of hands and then walk away. Trying to make it seem like your dick isn't 2 inches fully erect in front of everybody there, so you throw up your hands like you're ready to fight, but really you don't want to fight at all. You just want to get the fuck out of there and hope he doesn't take your lunch money. On YouTube, that comical display of masculinity will get an applause from your 12-year-old audience for your courage and being too real and savage, but in real life you can see him immediately walk away because he knows the bouncer would beat his ass into his asshole. Now, I do agree with FaZe Banks, though, in that perhaps the bouncers were power tripping and being overly aggressive, because in my experience, the bouncers in a lot of places are power tripping insecure bundles of meat who take out a lot of aggression on the customers unnecessarily. So I agree that maybe this bouncer was a big douchebag, but don't throw up your set of hands like you're going to throw down with him, because you're not, and you didn't.
And feigned fighting to a bouncer. He and his girlfriend, Alyssa, resisted and were guided up the steps into the main dining area. She was riding a bouncer's back aggressively. Then the cameras came out again, with Alyssa getting into the faces of other customers, just trying to leave. There's punching and hair pulling. As it goes on, you see Ricky throw a glass at other customers. Later, another confrontation as the camera came out again. There's a struggle, and from the shadows, Ricky attacks again, striking a customer, not a bouncer as he had boasted.
Now, Ricky comes out of nowhere and starts pounding this guy in the face from behind. Totally cheap shot.
FaZe Banks out here with his bald spot looking like a fucking default monk class in an MMO game. No wonder he always wears a hat. For real, Ricky, keep that hat on. If you take that hat off in one of your awful vlog videos, your 12-year-old audience is going to respond like that scene in the SpongeBob movie when King Neptune is revealed to be bald. I also really love how these vlogging YouTubers get really upset when other people record them. Like last year when Rice Gum slapped the phone out of the Gabby Show's, aka Gabby Schumer Show's hand because she was recording him. You'd think of all people to be okay with being recorded in public, it'd be these assholes, but apparently not. So as we just saw, all 90 pounds of FaZe Banks went into fight or flight mode there. His low testosterone and high estrogen really started pumping quickly, and he went against his nature and actually got involved in a confrontation. And the best thing he could muster is he could throw a fucking sucker punch. You will never lose my respect or the respect of any man faster than throwing a sucker punch on somebody. Just starts sneaking up behind a man like he's in Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell playing as Sam Fisher going for an assassination, and throws the weakest wet noodle of a punch I have ever seen in my life. And he actually broke his hand from this punch here. He lets out this flurry of incompetent and clearly awful throws that is just so laughably bad. I can't be happier that he broke his hand in it. It looks like an old lady fighting for her purse back right now. It's just so sad. Here's one of your premier YouTube tough guys duking it out with someone in real life who didn't even see them coming. Don't tussle with the muscle, or lack of muscle. No, but really, for real, don't tussle with the phase muscle. Unless, of course, you do, then he's going to break his hand on the back of your head. And then you'll be left wondering why a 3-year-old just shot a spitball at the back of your head. You'll pretty much mistake his punch for a mosquito landing on you. Now, as a surprise to nobody, YouTube tough guys are my least favorite content creators on this website, and I say content creators in quotation marks. I really despise them. And it's not because I hate their content, which I do. I understand people are going to like different content, and their content is geared towards children. So that's not where I have a problem. My problem is how they shit on everybody else who isn't as successful as them or doesn't have as much money as them, and how they manufacture so much negativity on the site and create all of this fake drama and fake beef. And then they make these abysmal diss tracks at each other that make my cock smaller just by listening to snippets of them. And then they have all of these call-out videos where I'm so tough, come fight me. It's just so, it's embarrassing. Which is why I never call myself a YouTuber, because it's downright just embarrassing to even be associated with a lot of shit on this platform. And unfortunately, the first thing someone thinks of when they hear the word YouTube, the first thing they think of are these human catheters like FaZe Banks, Rice Gum, and Jake Paul, because they're the most successful right now. But yeah, anyway, this was a National Geographic look at a YouTube tough guy in the wild. So I'd also like this to serve as a reminder to any viewers of the YouTube tough guys that they're just playing characters. They don't actually believe they're tough guys who can take people in fights they know they can't, which is why they just make videos back and forth against each other and never do anything about it. So yeah, that's it. See ya.